is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
This one deep to left center field. That ball is gone. A home run. And a roller through the left side of base hit. Bauer at RBI base hit. Marte gets burned. Bauer to second. And he is in with a triple.
Joe Mauer started the season by reaching base safely in 28 consecutive games. His 8th inning single last night extended a current streak to 28. He's reached base in 60 of 65 games played so far this season. He's back in the lineup this afternoon as the Twins and Yankees resume this 4-game series at Target Field. Yanks have won the first 2. Twins try to get in the win column here today. This Twins and Yankees series is brought to you by North Dakota Tourism. Start your journey at NorthDakotaLegendary.com. Welcome to Target Field with Roy Smalley. I'm Anthony LaPanta. Joe Mauer doing what Joe Mauer has done throughout his career, reaching base nearly every night. 6 times in his career, he's had an on-base percentage of over 400. This year's .384 number is 8th best in the American League.
It's really remarkable what Joe is doing, and 2 streaks of 28 games in a row on base. It really only tells a little bit of the story. What his manager loves about what Joe does is the fact that he is an example and a boon to the lineup every night by not giving at bats away. He grinds out every single pitch, every single at bat, no matter what the score, no matter what the situation. And I know the manager thinks if only the rest of the guys in the lineup would take Joe as an example, because there's at no time does he not give 100% effort to try and battle through each at bat. And 60 out of 65 games, Anthony, reaching base. It's remarkable after a remarkable career for him to continue to do what he does best for his manager, and that is get on base and get stuff going, drive in runs, score runs. It really is remarkable.
That's 60 out of 65, 92.3%. Best in baseball. He's 15 games short of his career-long streak of 43. Up next, Ricky Delasco and his game plan against the Yankees today.
Baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. By Ram. Come discover great deals during the Ram Drive and Discover event. And by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for the everyday competitor in all of us.
Oh, it looks like a picture postcard, doesn't it? A beautiful day at Target Field, and the Twins will try it again against the New York Yankees, having lost the first 2 games of this series in homestand. And Ricky Nolasco will pitch for the Twins, Michael Pineda for the New York Yankees, and they each lead their clubs in strikeouts. And the Twins hope that Saturday will be better than Friday as they hope to beat the Yankees. Dick and Bert with you for Game 3 of this series. The Twins desperate for good starting pitching to the point where they, as best they can, returned back to the original starting rotation with Tommy Milone coming up, Ricky Nolasco going today, and this original starting rotation is almost intact.
Yeah, with Pat Dean really struggling in yesterday's ballgame, well, the Twins made a move. It'll be Tommy Milone coming back to the Twins. His contract selected. Remember, he was designated for assignment. Well, he went down to AAA. And look at the record. 4-0, 1.66 ERA. He'll be back in that starting rotation.
And Ricky Nolasco picked up a win in Anaheim and hopes to follow that up with another good effort today.
Yeah, his last 3 starts have been really good, and the Twins are looking for exactly that. Quality starts. The Twins, he's leading the Twins with 5 quality starts. You'd have to say he's leading the Twins in innings pitched, in strikeouts, a lot of different compartments. What he'd like to do right here today is beat the New York Yankees.
Good weather here at Target Field. Hardly a cloud in the sky. The grass is green, and the Twins hope to play a good ball game against the Yankees and pick up a win here today. Ricky Nolasco to the mound for the Twins. Having beaten the Angels in his last start to beat the New York Yankees here at Target Field, a place where they, for whatever reason, seem to play awfully well.
Yeah, since 2010, the Yankees are 18-5 here at Target Field.
So Joe Girardi feels pretty comfortable in that visiting dugout here at Target Field. The Menards batting order for the Yankees in Game 3. Jacoby Ellsbury leading off, Brett Gardner, Carlos Beltran, Alex Rodriguez, Brian McCann with unbelievable numbers against Nolasco. Then Chase Headley, Didi Gregorius, Rob Refsnyder, and Ike Davis.
And Ricky Nolasco making his 14th start of the year, looking for his 4th win. He's making his 3rd career start against the Yankees. 1 good one, 1 bad one.
And in this season where there have been so many short starts, like the one last night by Pat Dean, 1-0 to Ellsbury, and a grounder hit off the leg and now deflecting to Dozier, and Ellsbury will get an infield hit. And Nolasco got hit on the lower half, somewhere around the knee it looked like, and the ball deflected to Dozier, but it's an infield hit.
Well, once you let that ball go, you become an infielder. See Nolasco kind of body turn and hit the back of his leg, deflected away. And you see, it looked like the right knee around that area, but Nolasco's okay. But it's an infield base hit for Ellsbury.
That'll bring up Brett Gardner. Started to say, in a season that has had so many painfully, literally painfully short starts for the Twins, Nolasco has had just 1 start of less than 5 innings. Now, they have not all been great starts, but in a rotation that has been woefully inconsistent, Nolasco has been the most consistent starter. Quinn Wolcott behind the plate. Paul Emmel, Pat Hoberg, Mark Carlson on the bases. 1 strike to Brett Gardner. And now 1-1.
Gardner, a guy that will bunt. That's why Nunez in on the grass.
Gardner bunted here in the opener Thursday night in the 1st inning on a 3-2 pitch, bunted it foul. Pulled foul. And today's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Twins have allowed more 1st inning runs than anybody else. That's not a particularly a good category to lead in.
That's nothing to be proud of there.
As Terry Ryan said, in a game like last night, it's 3-0 before people even get to their seats.
Well, Nolasco, as I mentioned, making his 3rd career start against the Yankees. The other 2 starts came back in 2014. He won in New York 6-1, and then not a good outing here against the Yankees in July.
Outside 2-2.
Brett Gardner in his 9th season with the Yankees. Made his first All-Star team appearance last year. Line drive type hitter, occasional power.
Two and two.
Ellsbury at first base, 12 stolen bases in 18 attempts. And Nolasco paying some attention to him. Been 4 successful steals of second base against Nolasco in 5 tries so far this year.
Long hold. And a swing and a miss. And Nolasco keeps Ellsbury at first and strikes out Gardner. Northland Ford defense for the Twins and a change. Robbie Grossman getting the day off, at least the starting assignment off. Danny Santana is in left field. Byron Buxton in center. Max Kepler in right. Nunez, Escobar on the left side of the infield. Dozier and Mauer. Centeno behind the plate. 1 down, and now Beltran. Beltran hitting a first inning home run last night against Pat Dean.
Yeah, that is a right-handed hitter.
Over the inside corner, strike 1.
And there are some Yankees that have some very good numbers against Nolasco. You mentioned McCann, but Beltran good numbers. That was a slider that Pat Dean said he wanted it down and in, and it just stayed on that same plane. And Beltran giving the Yankees an early 3-0 lead with that 2-run home run.
Outside. 1-1.
Beltran 16 hits and 48 at bats, a .333 batting average against Nolasco.
Double play ground. Backhanded to the shortstop Escobar, and Nolasco pitches out of a leadoff single and faces just 3 men. Gorgeous day to be at a ball game, and we're here. And Paul Molitor hoping that the Twins can end a 4-game losing streak. Twins have had too many losing streaks of that length or longer in this season. That's approaching the midway part of the season. The Menards batting order has Eduardo Nunez at third base, with Danny Santana hitting second, then Joe Mauer, Brian Dozier, Trevor Plouffe out of the lineup today. Max Kepler moving up to fifth, then Byung-Ho Park, Eduardo Escobar, Juan Centeno, and Byron Buxton.
And that lineup will face 6'7", 260-pound Michael Pineda, making his 14th start, just like Nolasco. He's been pitching better as of late.
First pitch, nice pickoff at third by Headley, and he sets and fires. Headley's turned in a number of good plays at third base in this series, and Nunez jumped on the first pitch, hit it hard on the ground for the first out. Northland Ford defense for the Yankees. Speed in left. Gardner still runs pretty well. Ellsbury in center. Carlos Beltran in right. Headley and Gregorius left side of the infield. Resch, Snyder, and Davis on the right side. Brian McCann behind the plate.
Headley just going to his left, making a nice play. You're right. I mean, in the first 2 games, he's made a couple nice ones over there.
Strike one to Santana.
Gotta quit hitting to him.
Santana finished the game last night in center field, now getting the start in left. Robbie Grossman's been on the lineup every day since being acquired by the Twins.
Yeah, Danny just activated off the disable. It's the second time he was on a disable this year with hamstring injuries.
And the Twins hope that he can air out those hamstrings here this afternoon.
That's a slider right there by Pineda. He likes to throw that a lot. Got a very, very nasty slider.
1-2 to Santana. Chop to the right side. Resch Snyder hesitates. And Santana getting down the line. I don't know if he was late getting out of the box or what happened there. 2 down. That'll bring up Mauer. Joe with another long reaching base streak, and he's been on base in over 92% of the games this year. 28 straight in this streak.
Yeah, 60 of the 65 games he has played in, he's been able to get on base. For the Twins, this is their 68th game of the year.
And a strike down the middle. With a hit his last time up. Also reached on an error last night. This ball driven to left. And Gardner is there to catch the line drive. Each starting pitcher with a quick first inning.
One between the Twins and the Yankees with Ricky Nolasco on the mound. It's a welcoming sight for the Twins. They're hoping that he can repeat what he did Monday against the Angels, hoping that that will have a snowball effect for the rest of the guys in the starting rotation. But pitching coach Eric Rasmussen said ideally for him, though, he wants his guys to start feeling a sense of friendly competition. He says if one guy gets a good couple of outings, then the other guys do. And they say, well, if he can have a couple good ones, I can, but I can do it even better. That eventually, he hopes will get the ball rolling. Now, for the short term, Paul Molitor really needs Ricky Nolasco to stretch this one out because, yes, he does have Tommy Milone in the bullpen if he needs to go to him, but he wants to avoid that and eventually just put Tommy Milone back in the rotation, he says, probably Thursday of next week. Guys?
Well, thank you, Audra. Alex Rodriguez taking ball one from Ricky Nolasco, and now a ball beaten into the dirt, foul.
Yeah, what Audrey was talking about, you know how hitting sometimes is contagious. One guy get hot, and then hopefully guys around him get just as hot. And same thing for pitching. That's just something that has not happened yet this year for the staff, the starting staff. And hopefully Nolasco can get him going.
1-1 to Alex Rodriguez. Has never faced Ricky Nolasco. They were in different leagues for most of their respective careers.
Yeah, and the only time that Nolasco pitched against the Yankees was in 2014, and that's the year that Rodriguez had to sit out.
2-1. Popped up left field. Santana over.
That sun can be a bear out there as you see the shadows of the players.
Our Toyota key stat. Fewest walks allowed. Ricky Nolasco, who's given up a lot of hits in his Twins career, has minimized the damage because he's been very stingy with the walks.
Yeah, good control. And that kind of carries over his whole career, averaging 2.1 walks per 9 innings and almost 1,600 innings pitched.
Now to center, and Buxton has a lazy fly ball to get under. Making the catch, 2 down. And McCann retired even though he's hit .339 over 62 at bats against Nolasco, and incredibly 8 home runs. So that's not an insignificant out there.
And that's when Nolasco was with the Marlins and McCann was with the Atlanta Braves.
2 quick outs here in the second, and now Chase Headley. Now, I think you've said that Ron Kittle hit the most home runs against you with how many?
9.
9. Well, that's, you know, I mean, you were around a lot longer than Nolasco's been around, and faced Kittle. We must have faced him at least 10 or 11 times, right?
9.
1-1. But that's surprising that it wouldn't be somebody like Reggie Jackson or somebody like that. Kittle, Rookie of the Year in '83, but his career far briefer than Jackson's or some other players like that. Eddie Murray.
Good changeup right there by Nolasco.
1-2 to Headley. On the ground, backhanded by Dozier. And another quick 1-2-3 inning for Ricky Nolasco. Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by CenturyLink. Switch to CenturyLink Prism TV for an advanced TV experience. Learn more at cprismtv.com. Ricky Nolasco with a couple of good innings to get things started. Now the Twins will try to get the first lead of the game. Dozier, Kepler, and Park facing Michael Pineda. The overall numbers for Pineda aren't good, but in his last 3 starts, he's been pretty good.
Yeah, over his first 10 starts in April and May combined, he was 2-6 with an ERA of about 7. But over his last 3, you mentioned 1-1 with a 2.89 ERA. He's had a history of shoulder issues.
Two strikes quickly to Dozier.
Pineda, you look at him, 6'7", about 260. He's a very big man out on that mound.
Foul back.
Came up with the Mariners in 2011. Ended up making the All-Star team that year. Goes over his head. You don't see a lot of this anymore. Pitchers don't go over their head and then their release point.
Up and away. 1-2.
Pineda, 27 years old. Pineda, 6 of his 13 starts have been quality starts. The Yankees are 5-8 when he starts a ball game. Last time Pineda worked here was July of last year. He faced Phil Hughes, and the Twins hit him around pretty good. 5 runs in 5 2/3 innings. The Twins beat the Yankees 10-1 in that ball game.
One and 2. Dozier trying to get aboard to start the bottom of the second inning. And another take, 2-2. all the pitches outside, and the target was outside. And Pineda missed over the inside corner to get a call, third strike.
Pineda over his last 3 starts, 20 strikeouts in 18 2/3 innings. Only 4 walks, 6 runs allowed over 3 starts.
Max Kepler with 1 gone in the second. Just off the plate, ball 1. Kepler been hitting 6th or 7th, now moving up to 5th with Plouffe out of the lineup. Bunted in the air, trying to drop it down in front of Headley. And, you know, you're always talking about Roy Smalley as Jack Morris, about players having to make the adjustments. And here's Kepler. He's been in the big leagues for a few weeks, and they're already shifting him. And they'll stay in that shift unless or until he swings his way out of being shifted. And here he's trying to drop down a bunt with the third baseman 30 feet off the third base line. 1-1. There's not enough history of Kepler up here to warrant a shift, but they're putting it on anyway. And if he gets a base hit to the left side on the ground where the shortstop would normally be playing, Yankees and other teams won't shift him. And now 3-1.
And like Nolasco Pineda over his career, not as many innings, of course, but very good at and stingy as far as base on balls. Came into this ball game with 480 major league innings and only 102 walks. That's a 1.9 walks per 9 innings.
Full count to Kepler. And we just saw the Yankees do what the Twins do, switching the shifted infielder. Now Headley's on the right side of the infield, and Gregorius is where he would normally be. Driven to the right field corner, and Kepler smokes one off the base of the fence. He'll dig for second and has a double. Nice swing by Max Kepler.
First Twins hits, a double by Kepler. You know, he hit almost the same pitch off of CC Sabathia here the other night. A breaking ball down. Not a bad pitch, but right where left-handers like it, with that little bit of an uppercut swing. Kepler putting good wood on that, hitting it quickly to that wall in right field. And Beltran has to retrieve it and get it back in.
And that'll bring up Byung Ho Park, hitting 6th. Park's average down to 204. And I would think that we are starting now a period of however long it might be, week and a half, 2 weeks, that are going to be very, very important for Byung Ho Park. The reason being the return, eventual, if not imminent return, of Miguel Sano. Sano took batting practice here yesterday and put on a show. And the Twins are saying now, in a matter of days, I believe Sano's going to have a base running workout here on Monday. And if everything goes well, you can imagine them soon after that sending him out on a rehab assignment. And I don't know that the Twins are too anxious to put him back in right field. The idea perhaps being, and I'm not saying this with any inside knowledge, but it would stand to reason if you got a guy with a hamstring injury that you would be pretty careful with him and might just have him be a designated hitter.
Yeah, I read an article that Terry Ryan said exactly what you're talking about, that when Sano does come back, there's not a chance really that they will put him back in right field. Too valuable.
2-0 to Park. Now, with all that said, 3-0, Park can be sent down to the minor leagues. Twins signing a contract with him, a multi-year deal, but they do have options to send him down. The South Korean player the Orioles signed a contract, a major league only contract. The Orioles can't send him down without his permission, and that's exactly what they wanted to do coming out of spring training. 3-0 to Park, and he takes a strike.
Pineda has allowed 12 home runs on the year, coming in 72 innings. Only 1 home run allowed over his last 3 starts.
A drive to center field. Back is Ellsbury, still going back and making the catch in front of the bullpen door. Tagging and going to third is Kepler, 2 away.
Well, Park got good wood on it, but to the deepest part of the field, 4-11 to the door, going into the bullpen area.
Time now for today's Lowe's home field advantage. Eduardo Escobar here at home has done awfully well, including a big game last night.
Yeah, 3 hits in last night's ball game, hit his first home run, and over his last 12 games here at Target Field, very, very good numbers.
Escobar getting, consecutive starts now in the hopes that his bat would wake up, and that's kind of what happened last night. See if he can get a 2-out hit here to give the Twins the early lead. Off the plate, ball 1.
Escobar, like Park, like about 2 or 3, 4 Twin players have never faced Pineda.
And a strike. 1-1. Third baseman Headley well off the line again, about 30 feet off the line. That allows Kepler to take a larger than normal lead. Anything in the dirt that might kick away from McCann at any distance might allow the Twins to score a run. Line foul. 1-2.
Escobar in last night's ball game, in his first at bat, a double, and put runners at second and third, and in the 4th inning a base hit, and then in the 9th inning a home run. It was that 10-pitch at bat that he had against Nick Goody, and Escobar hit the home run.
And a base hit up the middle. Escobar delivers. Kepler scores, and it's 1-0.
One thing we have seen at Escobar, he likes that ball down in the strike zone. Kind of protecting the plate right there. The pitch was down, and Escobar took it right back up the middle.
Hit it off the ground almost.
So Escobar, an RBI single, drives in his 12th run as Kepler crosses the plate. The Twins have a 1-0 lead.
Now Juan Centeno. Centeno keeping his batting average in the mid-200 range, while Kurt Suzuki's batting average climbs on a nearly nightly basis. And a strike, and all the while John Ryan Murphy hitting the ball pretty well at AAA. One of many things that has gone wrong for the Twins this year is the projected catching arrangement as we approach the midway point of the season. 1 strike to Centeno. Chop foul. The presumption was that Suzuki would start the year as the regular catcher. Murphy would be the backup, and then over time Murphy might see more playing time as he got to know the pitching staff, would become more and more the regular catcher. Well, that whole plan was aborted when Murphy struggled out of the gate and was demoted to AAA.
Gives Centeno an opportunity to get some major league at bats.
2 strikes. But of course the difference is Centeno never really figured into the long-term plans of the Twins in the first place, and Murphy did and still does. So at some point I would think, we'll see Murphy back up with the big league club, see if he can make up for some lost time. And Centeno with a foul tip. McCann hangs on. The Twins cash in a 1-out double by Kepler and a 2-out single by Escobar, and it's 1-0. Fox Sports North is presented by Northland Ford. Visit northlandford.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. What's yours? Twins had an early lead on Thursday night, and now an early lead here Saturday afternoon. Gregorius takes ball one from Nolasco. It'll be the bottom third of the Yankee order. Gregorius, Refsnyder, and Davis. Nolasco allowed a leadoff single in the first, an infield hit off his leg. And now missing outside, 2-0.
Nolasco, 33 years old, making his 14th start, his 261st major league start.
And now shaving the outside corner. And up the middle, a base hit. Another leadoff single for the Yankees. Gregorius aboard here in the third. These iconic land-to-water tours aboard World War II amphibious vehicles are a must when you're in the Dells. You'll see the beauty of the Wisconsin River, Lake Delton, and the lush land surrounding both, and will be treated to an entertaining travelogue along the way. I still think you try to back troll with one of those, you put them in reverse, you get a Lindy rig with a night crawler and
catch the big one.
Catch a nice walleye. Can you tell I haven't been fishing yet this year?
No, I can't tell at all.
Refsnyder squares and takes a strike.
We saw Refsnyder last night. He started the ball game at first base, then moved to right field. Here today, starting at second base, so pretty good utility player. Plus, he picked up some hits last night.
On the ground, they might get two here. Dozier with a flip to first. Second double play grounder that Nolasco's been able to get, and he only had two of them all year long coming into today. And Ike Davis will come up with the bases empty. Our carsoup.com trivia question: which player has scored the most runs in New York Yankees history?
Wow. Derek Jeter's name would have to be on the top of the list there.
I would think so.
You know, that double play turn by behind Nolasco, his first 10 starts of the year, he did not have a double play turn, but over the last 3 starts, he's had now 4.
Strike over the inside corner to Ike Davis.
Ike Davis just in his 5th game with the Yankees. He was released by the Rangers about 5 days ago, and then the next day on the 13th signed with the Yankees.
They've had so many injuries at first base, you wonder whether they called Kent Herbeck and tried to talk him out of retirement. I think
Herbie would have enjoyed hitting at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah,
for
but
81
I
games.
just can't see him in a Yankee uniform.
No,
that would have been. It'll be tough enough here when we get to Chicago on this next road trip. We might see Justin Morneau in a White Sox uniform. He's working out with them. But I can't see Herbie in Yankee pinstripes. 1 and 2. Foul. And Nolasco has a chance here if he can dispose of Davis quickly of completing 3 innings with about 30 pitches worth of work. One and 2. Ball tap foul. Again, Nolasco isn't going to get any Cy Young votes, but he's pitching closer to the form the Twins expected when they signed him 2.5 years ago. Took a little bit off the breaking pitch, strikes out Davis. 3 very efficient innings for Ricky Nolasco. Minnesota will you find the Alexandria Lakes area with unique collections of museums, great festivals, and lakeside resorts. Get swept up in Minnesota's wine culture at the Carlos Creek Winery. They offer wine tasting. That's always fun. Wine growers workshops, live music, and wine stomps in September. Find endless ideas for the perfect getaway at exploreminnesota.com. Share your favorites with #OnlyInMN. And while you're there, you can fish some of the great lakes around there. Lake Andrew, Lake Darling, Mahamadou, Lake Victoria.
A lot of lakes.
Can you tell I haven't been fishing yet? Byron Buxton with a 1-1 count. See if Buxton drops down a bunt here. Lifted foul into the seats, 1-2. Buxton's average has dropped down to 200. And the alarming number of strikeouts, of course, 46 and 105 at bats. Particular difficulty against left-handers, and he, at least at the start of this game, won't have that issue.
Again, that slider of Pineda right there. That's a nasty one. That where he gets a lot of his strikeouts.
One down in the third. That'll bring up Nunez.
Strikeout number 3 for Pineda.
Troy Tulowitzki in our Sanford Health injury report activated. He's strained his right quadricep. Blue Jays will welcome him back with Bautista going on the disabled list. And Tulowitzki struggling with the Blue Jays, his first full season with them. The Blue Jays, however, a game out in the East, 8 games above the 500 mark. Nunez takes a strike over the inside corner. Nunez hit a hot ground ball to the left of Headley, and he made a nice play. 1-1. Nice to see Nunez just have a good couple of weeks here in advance of the All-Star games being announced.
Nunez came into this ball game 6th in the American League at hitting. Tried to drop down a bunt there. Went foul.
1-2.
Hitting at .314 coming into the ball game.
Be a great story if he could make it, wouldn't it? I mean, here's a guy who was a utility player with the Yankees, came to the Twins, really fought for a regular role, never got one. High and tight, 2-2. And then through injuries to other players, and that's how it so often happens, he got a chance to play every day, started hitting immediately, and has kept his average over 300. 2-2. Pineda knocks it down, picks it up, and gets Nunez at first, 2 down. That'll bring up Danny Santana. Registration has begun for the Minnesota Twins 2017 Baseball Fantasy Camp. Fantasy campers will enjoy a week in Florida playing ball at Hammond Stadium, the spring training home of the Twins. And you'll also play alongside and receive instruction from Twins greats such as Bert Blyleven, Tony Oliva, Kent Herbeck. To learn more information, visit the fans section at twinsbaseball.com.
We had Stan Dickman here in our booth, 2-3 days ago.
Right.
So hurry up because it's filling up quick.
Back to the mound, and Pineda gets 2 assists in a 1-2-3 third inning. 4th inning, and in today's game we're participating in the home run challenge to benefit prostate cancer research. And so far, after 3 days this week, $1,700,000 has been raised. You can make a pledge by going to homerunchallenge.org. The Twins organization is also getting involved in the home run challenge. They'll be donating an additional $10,000 for each Twins home run this week, and $1,000 for every strikeout by a Twins pitcher. Dick Bramer, Burt Blyleven, joined by Michael Milken, who's been kind of a spokesperson for the prostate cancer research fundraising. And we're happy to have Michael with us, along with Hall of Fame manager Tommy Lasorda. We'll get them both mic'd up here shortly. Michael, let's start with you. This is a campaign that I know as a cancer survivor you've been involved with for quite some time, in a process or a program that's very near and dear to you.
Well, it sure is. I'm, an example of 1 in 7 men that will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. And actually, 1 in 2 men will get some form of cancer in their lifetime, and 1 in 3 women. And the idea was, come out to the ballpark and remind your dad to get tested for prostate cancer. And that was really the goal of the program when we started. And I'm happy to tell you the death rates dropped by 50% since we started this program.
Oh, that's awesome.
4 million men will be with their families tomorrow for Father's Day.
And you have Tommy Lasorda here that's kind of going around with you, isn't he?
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
I've been under his tutelage for 18 years. I've been traveling with Tommy.
This guy played for me in Japan.
Is that right?
He almost got us run out of the country.
What was what pitch count did you have for him? Because he's a big fan of pitch counts,
Yeah. I bet he is. I tell you something. I told my pitching coach, throw that counter away.
Well, I don't know. We were at Angel Stadium the other night, and they have a plaque on the wall. Nolan Ryan threw 235 pitches in one game. What did you think of that, Tommy?
I can see that.
He didn't get loose until 100 pitches. My goodness. He probably struck out 18 and walked 10.
Well, right now, we were kind of excited because the Yankee pitcher had about a 5.5 ERA. And as you know, we raise money for home runs that were hit. We were looking forward to the Twins hitting a few today before the day is over.
Yeah, Pineda's given up 12 home runs. Ricky Nolasco, he's given up 9.
Fly ball right center field. Dozier running out, and Buxton makes the catch, and they narrowly avoid a terrible collision.
Well, that's a dangerous play, because as an infielder, you have to go back until you can hear that outfielder call you off. And it must have been right at the last second that Buxton called Dozier off. Watch Brian go back. Now he's got to keep track of that ball. You don't know where that outfielder is. And Buxton calling him off, and Brian trying to get out of the way. And luckily, nobody got hurt.
You call him off, and
That's
then if you're Dozier, you've got to figure out your exit route. And he luckily was able to avoid the charging center fielder. 1 away. Brett Gardner, the batter.
Tommy, how you doing? I know we're going to see you in the end of July.
That's right. I'm doing very well. I feel great. And, well, in September, I will be 89.
Oh, that's great. You have always been a great ambassador for the game of baseball. And I know that you don't bleed Dodger blue. You just bleed.
Well, I want you to know, traveling with Tommy has really increased the awareness. And we want to thank the Minnesota Twins, particularly the Pohlad family, Major League Baseball, and Fox for what they've done. When you just think there's 4 million families that are going to have a father or grandfather tomorrow that might not have had one. And one of my jobs as I travel around has been Tommy's personal photographer. You know, when he travels in a ballpark, there's at least 1,000 people that stop him and they say, "Young man, can you take me a picture with Tommy Lasorda?"
Hey, Mike, talking about the prostate cancer, what age should someone start to get tested?
Any family history, 40.
Okay. At 40?
African-American man, definitely 40.
Buxton races in to catch the line drive. 2 down.
And if you're not, definitely by 50. But it's no different than getting your cholesterol checked. So you say, when are you going to get your cholesterol checked? And You know, so many things are preventable easy if you catch them early. What's so exciting is we've raised $45 million from home runs that have been hit. With the help of, you know, the Polat family and the Twins have made a huge difference. And that $45 million has turned into 6 new drugs that have been approved. And out of those 4 million men, 1.4 had advanced prostate cancer that spread through their body, that are living normal lives today.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
And among them, I believe, Joe Torre, who about 15 years ago was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and Joe looks as healthy as
Baker.
Dusty Baker's another one. So it attacks and involves everybody in all occupations, but baseball too.
Well, when you think of 1 in 2 men getting cancer, you know, a lot of men don't go and get checked. Women are much more active, interacting with our medical system, taking care of kids. And
1 and 1, and now 2 and 1.
And one of our big programs this year, we've added 2 programs particularly targeted at kids. And I can't tell you how many young kids I saw in the ballpark today. One, we want you to send in a short little story, could be 2 paragraphs, of your first major league game.
2 and 2. And
we also want you to send in your favorite home run trot. We know Tommy has a favorite home run trot.
What was your first? Did you see Babe Ruth play?
No.
Okay, how about Ty Cobb?
No, you know what they used to ask me when I go into some schools? They say, were there dinosaurs when you were going to elementary school?
Good at bat by Beltran as he pokes a single to center field.
This guy was nasty, man. He had a breaking ball that you couldn't hit. No way.
Well, we could tell the story where I got you in Anaheim, because I was with the Angels. Of course, you managed the Dodgers for so many great years. And Doug Rader was our manager, and Ed Arnold interviewed you and Doug Rader, and I came out when he put the mic in your face and I pied you. Yeah. And then you had to walk across the field, and you were going to get back to me the next day by burning my jeans on the field in LA. And lo and behold, when I came to the ballpark, I knew I had what you were going to do, so I put my clothes in a foot locker in my locker, locked it, put Willie Frazier's pants in my locker, and lo and behold, you burned those pants, but you thought they were mine. They were Willie's, and Willie's still mad at you. Unbelievable.
One strike.
This guy was something, I'll tell you that, boy.
We had fun.
Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment.
You know, one of the most viewed things on YouTube is Tommy Lasorda and the Philly Fanatic. You know, you can go on and watch it, where the Philly Fanatic was trying to imitate Tommy on the field. And what did you do to that fanatic, Tommy? Do you remember?
Yeah, I chased him and I caught him and I dropped him.
And you started throwing baseballs at him.
Yeah.
2 strikes to Rodriguez.
Well, the thing about it, what Mike has done, he's saved a lot of lives by the program that we've been through for the last 20-some years. And if the men would listen and go get a checkup, they can beat it without any doubt. But if they don't, they're fatal. It's fatal.
No, not fatal anymore. That's where we started, Tommy.
Yeah.
And now with the 6 drugs.
Well, like Tommy said, though, first you have to get checked out.
That is true.
And that's the thing. And that's a great message that Tommy is giving to everybody out there.
You're 100% right. And the probability of living 5 years or longer, if you've been diagnosed for a man today, is 99%.
Wow.
99% today.
2 and 2 to Rodriguez, and now a full count. And Beltran will leave early from first.
Tommy and I were walking in and just thinking, what a beautiful ballpark.
Oh, gosh.
Boy, if I was living in
it here.
They did it right.
There's no reason why you shouldn't come out with your kids to this ballpark.
Yeah. Well, they've always had good players here. The manager's a Hall of Famer, and right now they're suffering a little bit, but hey, every team has problems sooner or later. So this team, with the men who run it, they'll get this team back right where it belongs.
And the leadership, the owners, the Polat family, are just tremendous contributors to this community and other communities. And one of the exciting things about this city is most of the money donated stays right here with great research centers like the Mayo Clinic.
Another 3-2 pitch, chopped toward short. Escobar will charge, fire on the run. Nolasco had to work a little bit, but he got through the 4th inning, preserving a 1-0 lead. And our thanks to Michael Milken and Tommy Lasorda. Thank you for stopping by, gentlemen.
Check my shoes.
Tommy says he wants to check his shoes. Hades 360 at Mount Olympus Water and Theme Park is the world's first upside-down wooden roller coaster. The largest coaster in the park, Hades 360, also features a drop of 134 feet, a 90-degree turn underground, and a speed of 70 miles per hour.
Now,
appropriately named, I think.
Would you go on that?
No, I don't like.
I would go on that.
I'm not a roller coaster guy.
You know, it's always nice to see Tommy Lasorda. My goodness, what an ambassador for the game of baseball.
I'm sure other sports have ambassadors like that, but you're absolutely right. Joe Garagiola was a great ambassador for the game. We'll always associate Lasorda, of course, with the Dodgers, but ultimately what he was selling in every interview he did, even to this day, is baseball and his passion for it. And it's so wonderful to see someone, in his case, in his late 80s, who still has the passion for the game. Foul back by Mauer. It's 1-2. Mauer, Dozier, and Kepler. Twins trying to add to a 1-0 lead. Mauer lined out to left his first time up. And now outside, 2-2. Facing Pineda, who's had kind of a Jekyll and Hyde season. We've talked about Twins pitchers like Kyle Gibson, who when they're good, they're really good, and when they're bad, they're really bad. And that's kind of the mold that Pineda has filled out this year. That's driven to the left field corner. Gardner going back to the corner, and a foul ball.
Well, like I mentioned before with Pineda, you know, the first 10 starts, 2-6, an ERA of about 7, but over the last 3, and you know, the Yankees are hoping that the shoulder issues that he's had are behind him, because this young man's still 27 years old. They feel he has a lot of innings hopefully left. I mean, he had shoulder surgery back in 2012, where he missed all of the 12 season and also the 2013 season.
And Mauer takes one down the middle of the strike.
Pineda picking up his 4th strikeout.
One down, and that'll bring up Dozier.
Well, he went with a fastball. Might be looking slider because that's his strikeout pitch, but he clips the lower part of the strike zone for his 4th strikeout.
Fox Tracks presented by Ram. Here's Dozier. He was called out on strikes his first time up. And what we saw in his 2nd inning at bat, something we have seen regularly for weeks, months maybe. McCann setting up outside and a bunt foul, 1 strike. And catchers will do that, and only occasionally. In the case of Pineda in the 2nd inning, he did it by accident. Will give Bryan anything in the inner half of the plate. You'll see catchers set up inside, off the inside corner, and then go right back where we expect McCann will set up here again.
It's the old term high, tight, low, and away.
And as long as a pitcher can hit that spot, I don't know that the results are going to be dramatically different for Bryan.
Well, especially if you can hit that spot throwing about 95, 96 like Pineda's last pitch. I don't care who you are. That's almost unhittable.
Fouled away. Pineda with a very high BABIP allowed. Balls put in play. Lands safely 37% of the time. That doesn't count the home runs. Very high batting average on balls in play, or BABIP. Now they set up inside, and Dozier dumps it down the right field line. Go figure. It'll be an extra base hit for Dozier, and he'll round second on his way to 3rd. And it's a stand-up triple with 1 out on a pitch over the inside corner.
Well, he just kind of inside out at that. Tom Bernanski's got to be happy at that swing right there. For Dozier's first triple of the year. You know, you don't get triples just by not looking where that ball was going. And that ball, because the way he hit that ball had a lot of spin on it. You can see the ball down and away.
Yep,
just taking that pitch the other way. And right about here, watch him look. He sees that Beltre has to go get that ball, and it's spinning in the corner. And right before he got to second base, he said, I can make it to 3rd, and he did.
And I stand corrected. I thought that pitch was over the inside corner, but you're right, it was on the outside corner. And by getting to 3rd base, he forces the Yankees to bring the infield in. Kepler at the plate. He cracked a double off the fence in right his first time up. Ball 1.
Well, one thing, you know, all that work with Tom Bernanski, Rudy Hernandez is short. It's a, you know, baby steps, but paying off. You can see the month of June doing a better job of using the whole field.
And that's a foul ball. Just missed the bag, and had it been fair, Davis might have been able to catch it. 1-1. Close to hitting the bag.
Take a look at his ball right down that first baseline, and you can see it's in foul territory. Paul Emmel, the first base umpire, the crew chief. He'll have the plate tomorrow afternoon.
See what Kepler can get done here.
Well, you need contact.
And you don't want to get to 2 strikes against this guy. So this is a big pitch. Off the plate, 2-1. Twins with 3 hits, a single, a double, and now a triple. Foul back, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, McCann's going to take the ball out to Pineda, maybe go over what he wants to throw here. Well, he throws Mauer on a fastball away, but again, I'm going to guess probably 70% of his strikeouts are on that hard slider. But Kepler showed that he had a pretty good pitch in his last at-bat on that breaking ball down. Dozier at third, 1 out.
2-2 to Kepler. Off the plate, 3-2, and that's one thing too that the Twins are excited to see. Kepler doesn't blindly chase pitches. He's only walked 7 times and he struck out 18 times, but he's got a pretty good idea up there as to what a strike is and isn't.
Yeah, see, Brian can get a pretty good lead as far off the bag as Chase Headley is away from the bag. Now he goes a little closer.
Pulled foul. Yeah, Headley cheating toward the bag a little bit, and that shortens up Dozier's lead.
Right.
Twins project Kepler as being a run producer.
Well, left-handers came into the ballgame hitting .328 against Pineda.
Another 3-2. Called third strike, and Kepler threw the bat away. He thought he'd earned a walk. 2 down.
Well, take a look at the pitch right here. McCann sitting away.
That's outside.
Yep, sure looks like it.
A big strikeout, leaving Dozier at third, and now Park. Twins lost here Thursday night when the Yankees got a big home run late, but they really lost the ball game early by not taking advantage of situations just like this, getting that runner in from third with less than 2 out. Park drives it to right field. This ball is hit. This ball is gone. A home run. Young Ho Park with a big 2-run, 2-out home run.
That's what the Twins want to see. Jumped on that first pitch. And Park hits his 12th home run. And it's a 2-run home run, jumping on the fastball. The power he has, taking it the other way.
And now the Twins have hit for the cycle against Pineda. A single, a double, a triple by Dozier, and now a home run, and it's 3-0. Here's Escobar. Strike one over the inside corner. Park came close to hitting a home run in his first at bat, hitting one to the bullpen in center field, hauled in by Ellsbury. And now 1-1.
And Pineda giving up his 13th home run on the year. First home run for Park since June 8th when the Miami Marlins were in town.
And over the top of the Twins dugout, off the netting, back onto the warning track. Some encouraging at bats here in this inning. Dozier going with the pitch and tripling to the right field corner. And then to Park, taking a fastball up and away and driving it over the fence in right. One and two. And off his front leg. Ouch. Escobar having a hard time putting weight on that right leg.
Let's take a look at this breaking ball. Looked like a changeup.
You know, that bone that sticks out, you know, your lower ankle, top of your foot. Looked like he fouled it right against that.
Yep.
And where's Pineda going to go again? Probably down and in again.
Why not? McCann sitting away.
And a strikeout ends the inning, but the Twins get a triple and a home run. Some right-handed batters doing some damage to the opposite field, and it's 3-0.
over the Yankees here in the 5th inning. It's now time to head to the Minnesota State Lottery Winners Circle. I'm here with the birthday girl, Beth and Brittany, who are non-coffee drinkers, which is impressive because you guys had a very early morning. Tell me about it.
Yeah, we had to get up at 4:30 this morning and about a 6.5-hour drive all the way up here. Only made one stop. So.
From Kansas City.
Kansas City, yeah.
Now, Kansas City, there's a pretty good baseball team down there. So how'd you guys become Twins fans?
We actually grew up in Iowa, and our family's from Minnesota, so we've been Twins fans since we were born. We're trapped in Royals Nation, so we had to come up here and get a taste of the real thing, I guess.
Well, we're certainly glad to have you back in town. Happy birthday to you just for being here with us. We're going to give you $100 worth of scratch-off tickets from the Minnesota Lottery. Hope they are big winning tickets. Happy birthday. Hope you guys have fun today.
Thank you very much. Go Twins.
Go Twins.
Yeah, thank you for making a trip, and you're here by Circle.
High fastball gets a swing and a miss. Chase Headley, the batter, Brian McCann on the first pitch again, flying out to left.
Right.
He can't wait to swing against Ricky Nolasco, and he's made 2 outs. Headley hit a ground ball to second his first time up.
Boy, and when you get into a ball game, especially in the middle part, when you can get 1 out on 1 pitch, boy, you'll take it. Nolasco's pitch count very good so far, 58 pitches, with 1 out here in the 5th inning.
You know, just to touch on Audra's guests, grew up in Iowa and southern Minnesota, became Twins fans, and now they're still Twins fans from Kansas City. You know, when I was growing up, and about the time you started your big league career, swing and a miss.
Good change up right there.
And Centeno will flip to first, 2 down. You know, we talk about Twins territory now, and we talk about Minnesota, obviously, North and South Dakota, but you know, back in the day, there wasn't a team for a while in Kansas City. There was no team in Colorado, no team in Seattle. So Twins territory spread almost, in some cases it did, all the way to the Pacific coast. You know, in the Northwest area, there wasn't a major league team out there. And we've told the story before about Earl Batty talking about the Twins caravan, and they would go to Seattle and go north up to Alaska. That's a long route on the caravan.
Don't give them any ideas.
1 strike. And off the plate, 1-1. Gregorius with a single, one of the 3 New York hits. They've all been singles, and they've come in 3 different innings. Pop up, and that'll spin back into the seats. Nolasco's been very good, and you can see this will be his 65th pitch. And if he gets Gregorius here, let's do the math. 65 divided by 5. 13, right?
It's very good.
But he didn't get him. Buxton will field it on a hop. And Gregorius picks up another hit, this one with 2 outs in the 5th.
Yeah, this guy's been hard to get out. Gregorius hit that big 3-run home run here on Thursday. Got a hit last night, couple here today.
You got Derek Jeter. I'm going to go with Mickey Mantle because he drew an awful lot of walks. And it's Babe Ruth, who also drew a lot of walks. Almost 2,000 runs scored. Here is Refsnyder, bounced into a double play his last time up on the outside corner. And what we've seen from Nolasco when he's been sharp as he apparently is here today, the ability to pitch to the frame of the strike zone without throwing it down the middle. Again.
Like that. Yep. Good pitch right there. Came right back with it.
And if you want to figure out how to cure what is ill with the Twins pitching staff, that's basically it.
That's the hardest pitch to hit in baseball right there. The pitch down and away. That's what Ted Williams said, not me.
2 strikes and a flip to first.
Refsnyder, 24 years old. He was born in South Korea. He was adopted when he was just 5 months old. Refsnyder family in Southern California.
Bounce to third. Backpedaling. Nunez gets the throw to Dozier just before Gregorius gets there. And another scoreless inning for Nolasco. Nothing start for the Twins, and hi to you, young lady. You're Pepsi fans of the game. Well, even the kid in the Yankee shirt's enjoying a wonderful day here at Target Field, and a delay call, strike one to Juan Centeno. Byron Buxton and Eduardo Nunez will follow. Oh, and 2.
Yeah, good changeup right there. Centeno, one of 6 strikeouts for Pineda. That came in the second inning.
And Centeno on 3 is a strikeout victim here in the 5th.
Boy, fastball, changeup, slider. Picks up strikeout number 7.
This Yankees and Twins series is brought to you by North Dakota Tourism. You can start your journey at NorthDakotaLegendary.com. One down on the 5th. Buxton to the plate. He struck out his first time up. Inside, ball 1. Speed pitch called for a strike. Buxton that time maybe looking for a fastball, didn't get it, took it. Foul back on the fastball. Probably won't happen now, but I think the Twins still want Buxton to do more bunting. Headley is playing back now, about midway back on the skin of the infield. He was 2 or 3 steps shorter than that. But I think the Twins look to the day when the third basemen are in on the grass against Buxton. And another breaking ball down and away, and another strikeout. 2
I think right now they're worried more about Buxton just making good contact.
Twins fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the all-new Fox Sports Go app. Download the app and take Fox Sports North and Twins baseball with you wherever you go. But when he's in a rut like he is, in terms of making contact, the bunt can be a weapon for him.
Well, we've seen him. I know in last night's ball game he tried a couple times trying to run and bunt at the same time. So Still a work in progress.
Nunez tried that in his third inning at bat and then ended up dribbling one between the home plate and the mound. Pineda threw him out. Down the middle with a fastball.
You know, Pineda with 8 strikeouts, nothing new. I mean, he's kind of a strikeout pitcher. He had 16 strikeouts as a career high. That coming last year in May against the Orioles. Couple outings this year. He has struck out 9.
Now swing and a miss. The breaking ball.
Got a nasty slider.
Well, and it seems to sit about 10 miles per hour off the fastball, which we've seen at 97.
What makes a good slider is it looks like the fastball coming out of his arm. And the late break.
0-2. And now Nunez fouls one, I think, off a leg or a foot.
Pineda making just his 82nd major league start. He has 29 wins, 32 losses, an ERA just under 4 at 3.98. One complete game. That was an 8-inning complete game last year against the Houston Astros.
Taken for a ball.
Doing a lot of stretching out there.
And now 2-2.
Yeah, big man, 6'7", about 260. Reminds me a lot of Jim Bibby when I pitched with Bibby with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
2-2 to Nunez with 2 gone on the Twins' 5th. Smoked foul. Pineda talking to himself out there a little bit. Two and 2. Great at bat for Nunez. We've said that a lot. Fell behind 0-2, worked the count even. Got something up and he rifled it to right field.
Yeah, how many times has he done that? You know, I mean, kind of almost protecting the plate, but so aggressive. You can see where that pitch is, about belt high, and not trying to pull it. Basically hit it where it was pitched. And it's a sharply into right field. Twins get their 5th hit. Nunez's first. See if Nunez tries to steal here. He leads the Twins with 15 stolen bases. A lot of times he'll go on that first pitch.
There he goes. And strike call and a stolen base for Nunez.
You know, Dick, you mentioned the other day that it's good that Nunez, when he steals bases, a lot of times it's the first or second pitch. So that hitter at home plate, you know, not afraid to take a pitch. If you know that he's so aggressive that he's going to take off, take the pitch. Don't foul it off.
Take a strike, but you know you can't take a second strike.
Right.
You know, and so hitters really appreciate it. If a guy's going to go early, safe or out. You know, give me something left in my at bat. And the situation changes now with a man in scoring position. And up the line. Right at the bag. Davis with a foot on the bag, fielding the ground ball, and Nunez is left at second. Chula Vista Resort, the Los Rios Indoor Water Park, is 80,000 square feet of fun. You can drift around the Mayan ruins in the rapid lazy river or play with the kids in the huge interactive kiddie play areas and the Lava Lagoon activity pool. No matter what the temperature is outside, Chula Vista has you covered.
Well, Twins leading 3-0. Ricky Nolasco in his first 5 innings, only 68 pitches, been able to get strike one on 12 of the 17 batters he's faced. On 10 fastballs, 3 sliders, and 1 changeup that gets strike one. There's a fastball right there.
Davis fouls it back, 1 strike. Davis, Ellsbury, and Gardner in the Yankee 6th. 4 singles, 1 each in 4 different innings. No walks. 1-1. Left field line and spinning into the seats away from Santana. 1-2. Twins will play in New York against the Yankees next weekend. Friday night game, Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, and we'll just hope that we have weather like this in New York. 1-2. And Davis strikes out for the first out of the 6th.
Good fastball away, and Nolasco picking up strikeout number 4.
Fox Sports North and the Minnesota Wild are celebrating hockey this summer at the Minnesota Wild Summer Bash and NHL Entry Draft Viewing Party, Friday, June 24th from 6 to 9 p.m. at XL Energy Center. It's free, and it's the biggest hockey bash of the summer, with interactive games, photo and autograph opportunities from Wild players, NHL alumni, and more. Visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events. Here's a fly ball hit to Byron Buxton in center, and a quick second out.
Yeah, it's about 3 or 4 times in this ball game that the Yankees have swung at that first pitch for an out. McCann did it twice. Ellsbury right there.
But we used to see teams do that against the control pitchers. They've done it against Phil Hughes. Now they used to do it against Brad Radke, figuring, look, this guy's not going to walk me. I'm not going to work the count, and the best pitch I may get might come in the very first pitch. Take a shot at it.
And believe me, as a pitcher, you'll love that, because that helps that pitch count stay where it's at. Now 74 pitches.
Given where the Twins are with their bullpen and have been almost all year long, games like this so far have been few and far between and are especially welcomed by the bullpen. On the outside corner, a strike, 0-2.
Oh, very good strike to ball ratio. 75 total.
Slow breaking ball. Nolasco will let Escobar play it, and a good play by Escobar to throw out the speedy Gardner at first. And Nolasco has another 1-2-3 inning. 4 times this afternoon he's faced just 3 men in the inning. Think you can beat TC Bear, the Twins mascot, in a home run contest? You can register at go963mn.com now through July 24 for your chance to win 4 tickets to a Saturday home game, a Twins jersey, and to take on TC in the Pepsi home run contest.
Big applause, a little will you marry me out there? She said yes. I'm still waiting for somebody to say will you marry me on a big screen, and the girl just run away.
Do you remember in Kansas City that happened? Turns out it was staged. The Royals set it up.
Right.
But it was a few years ago, and they put the kiss cam thing on, and guy asked the girl to marry, and she acted outraged and ran out of the ballpark. And everybody hooted and hollered, and this guy had this forlorn look on his face. Turns out it was
set up,
a made for kiss cam event. Yes. 1-1 to Bauer. He has lined to left and struck out looking. And up and away. 2-1. Bauer, Dozier, and Kepler facing Pineda in the 6th.
Pineda, good strike to ball ratio. Now 85 pitches, 61 strikes. Both starters do not have a walk in the ball game.
Two and two. Fouled off of, I believe, McCann, the catcher. Foul tip, and McCann hangs on. See Bauer striking out twice in a game very often, but he has here today. And before Dozier bats tomorrow, the final round of the 116th U.S. Open Championship from historic Oakmont Country Club. Find out who will stamp their names in the history books beginning at 10 a.m. Central, only on Fox, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Here's Dozier. Took a pitch down and away and tripled into the right field corner, and that came in advance of Park's 2-run home run. A strike. Yankees up playing the infield still with a pull shift for Dozier. Check swing. 1-1. Foul back, and it's 1-2. I'll pass along a birthday wish today to my son Eric, turning 21 today.
Wow. Oh, big night out for Eric tonight.
Well, we're going out to dinner. What do you mean?
He's 21.
Yeah. He was born on Father's Day 21 years ago. I became a father for the first time on Father's Day.
Very nice.
It was very nice. 2-2.
Eric, happy birthday to you. Now you can go to Vegas, you can gamble all that money away.
Hopefully, in the 21 years that he's been around me, he has learned not to make you his moral compass. And Dozier gets a base hit to left. A 1-out single here in the 6th.
Too late. He fought off a breaking ball right there. Brian gets his second hit.
Kepler with a double in the 2nd, and then he was called out on strikes on a pitch that didn't look like it was a strike upon further review. He was on his way to first thinking he had taken a walk, and instead it was a strikeout. Hart picked him up, however, by hitting a home run in the next at bat.
And Dozier goes, and he has stolen second base. The issue looked like it might have been reaching the bag with Gregorius's foot in front of it, but Dozier got there with a stolen base.
Well, just like Nunez did last inning, going on that first pitch. That's the 11th stolen base that Pineda on the mound has given up in 14 tries. So Dozier going to the outfield side of that second base, holding on tight as Gregorius keeps that glove on his arm. So Dozier steals his 6th base of the year in 6 attempts.
1 strike to Kepler, and now strike 2.
It's been a miserable year so far for the Twins, but today so far a good game. Also their running game has been really good. 45 stolen bases now for the Twins. They've been caught only 14 times.
It's hard to use the running game when you're behind 4-0 in the 2nd inning.
Exactly.
That's looped to left, and it'll spin foul into the seats. And Pineda approaching 100 pitches. And with that in mind, the Yankees have activity in their pen. A familiar name and face, Anthony Swarzak.
A couple times, actually his last outing, he threw 114 pitches in a loss to the Tigers in 6 innings. And here we are in the 6th inning.
Pull to the right side. Nice stop by Davis. And a flip, and Pineda did not get a foot on the bag, and Kepler is down on the grass. Kepler is down after reaching first base. Pineda's footwork was all messed up.
Hopefully he only got the wind knocked out of him.
Very dangerous play, and of course it's no one's fault. And the right thigh, I believe, is the area of concern.
Again, look at Pineda, how big he is, and you can see him feeling for the bag.
If it's the thigh right there, his left thigh collided with the backside of Pineda.
Larry Rothschild out to see if Pineda is okay.
The trainer is out, and Rothschild, and now Girardi, and they're going to make a pitching change here, I believe. And Pineda will come off the mound.
He's not happy.
Kepler with an infield hit, Dozier at third, Kepler at first, and they say an error charged on Pineda, not a base hit for Kepler. Given up 3 runs. He's responsible for 2 runners, although Kepler reaching on an error. And here is Anthony Swarzak.
Swarzak getting called up on June 7th. making his third relief appearance for the Yankees. Of course, he signed by the Twins, a #2 pick back in 2004. Spent 5 seasons with the Twins. Did some starting mainly as a reliever. 181 ball games for the Twins, 32 starts.
Young Park, who nearly homered to center in the second inning, did homer to right in the fourth. Will face Swarzak.
Swarzak signed a minor league contract. That last year with the Indians, came up for a little bit and then ended up playing in Korean baseball for the rest of the summer.
Park on a check swing, strike one. Again, a runner at third, less than 2 out. Park, who Paul Molitor feels puts added pressure on himself in these RBI situations. We'll see if he can deliver for the second at bat in a row. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
You know, I didn't realize that Swarzak played in the Korean Baseball League last year. I wonder if Park faced him somewhere. Down the line.
0-2.
This last year.
Park's home run was a big one, to be sure, with 2 outs and a man at third. It was also Park's first home run since June 8th. He got a breaking ball up.
Yes, Swarzak left it up right there. Well, Park with 2 outs in the 4th inning. Pineda fastball and went the other way with it. His 12th home run of the year. A 2-run home run. His second 2-run home run.
Count still 0-2. Up and away, didn't miss by much, 1-2. Yankees came into this series struggling, but they had a couple of wins in the first 2 games of this series. Park trying to open the game up a little bit more here. First and third, 1 away.
Swarzak's best year for the Twins was back in 2013 when he worked 96 innings out of that bullpen and 48 relief appearances. 96 innings. That was the most innings used as a reliever that year.
Popped up center field. Dozier setting up a possible tag. Ellsbury with the catch, and Dozier is coming in, and he will score. And now Kepler thrown out at second, but the run counts. Ellsbury on a short fly ball, unable to cut down Dozier. It's a sacrifice fly for Park, and the lead grows. They may appeal to third base to see if he left early, but it will be, I believe, a 4-0 Twins lead. Casino story of the game. So far, so good.
Twins took a 1-0 lead thanks to Escobar's RBI single in the second inning in a 1-0 ball game. It was Byung-Ho Park with his 12th home run, a 2-run home run, that coming in the 4th inning. And then Park right there on a sacrifice fly. One thing you can do, you can run on those outfielders, especially with Gardner and Ellsbury. You can run on their arm. Twins do score an added run, have a 4-0 lead. Ricky Nolasco has been outstanding, 6 shutout innings.
And now Beltran, Rodriguez, and McCann face him here in the 7th. Nubbed, and Nolasco can't make the play. Barehanded or an attempted barehanded pickup by Nunez, and Beltran will get an infield hit, his 2nd hit of the ball game.
Yeah, right off the end of the bat, the ball had a lot of spin, and Tony Pena and Beltran having a little smile right there, but the only player that had a chance in Nolasco to get that ball, once it got by him, Nunez had no chance.
5th hit for the Yankees. They've all been singles, and they've not been hit very hard typically. 2nd infield hit allowed by Nolasco, and Rodriguez at the plate. Remember, in the 1st inning, Nolasco was able to get a double play grounder off the bat of Beltran, and then in the 3rd inning off the bat of Refsnyder. This one drilled to right. This is hit deep and gone, and the Twins lead is cut in half. Rodriguez goes after the first pitch, and instead of a lazy fly ball, it's a 2-run home run.
Home run number 8 on the year for Rodriguez. So 2 pitches here into the 7th inning, an infield base hit and a 2-run home run. Well, Rodriguez, of course, shown power over his career to all fields. Fastball stayed up, and he hit it sharply the other way.
Fox tracks by Carrier. So now 4-2, and a first pitch strike to McCann. When Nolasco beat the Angels a few nights ago, he had a rough middle inning, gave up a single and a double, and it looked like this was going to be one of those innings where everything blew up in his and the Twins' faces. But he did some damage control, gave up a couple runs that inning, but he was able to get out of it without a really bad number being put up, and so now that'll be the challenge again here in the 7th. 80 pitches thrown. And McCann takes off the plate 1-1. And McCann has gone after the first pitch in his first 2 at bats, hitting 2 fly balls. And McCann strikes out feebly, 1 down.
And strikeout number 5 for Nolasco.
And now Chase Headley. I guess that the Twins have been guilty of that, or unable to limit damage. There have been so many really bad, ugly innings. And Nolasco had that one bad inning against the Angels, but it was just a 2 spot instead of a 4 spot. And we'll see if he can manage that here in the 7th inning as well. Foul back, 2 strikes. Excuse me, 1-1 to count. A little looper to left, and that'll die in front of Santana. And the Yankees will get the tying run to the plate now in Gregorius. Saturday, July 16th, is the championship breakfast celebrating the Twins Hall of Fame. The breakfast will feature a retrospective program featuring 2016 inductees Torrey Hunter and John Gordon, as well as other Twins Hall of Fame members, autographs, photos, and more. It's a great event benefiting the Twins Community Fund, supporting youth baseball and softball throughout Twins territory. For more info and to get your tickets to this incredible event, visit twinsbaseball.com/breakfast. Twins have had a tough time with Gregorius in this series, and this might be his biggest at bat. Squirted foul, and Nunez can't track it down.
Yeah, change up right there off the end of the bat.
Gorius with 2 singles in today's game. Missing down and in. Nolasco in April did this on a regular basis. He pitched into the 7th inning in all 4 of his starts, completing the 7th inning 3 times. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
Good off-speed pitch there.
Won just 1 ball game in April, but had a 3.25 ERA.
Yeah, it was May that he really struggled. 7.12 ERA in 6 starts. We mentioned the last 3 starts. 2 of the 3 quality starts coming into this ball game in the month of June.
1-2. That's to left, hanging in the air for Santana, and out number 2. I'll bring up Refsnyder. Activity for the first time. Jepson and Boshears getting loose. Refsnyder 0 for 2. 2 ground balls to the left side. One of them starting a double play. On the outside corner. Good pitch. And Centeno with a nice block.
Very nice block. Yeah, breaking ball down and away. Centeno getting in front of it, knocking it down. Chase Headley at first base stays there.
Centeno got a little something in his eye at that ball spiking into the dirt. You know, the Yankee dominance over the Twins has been well documented. I think we've seen a lot of games that have been where this game is at currently. And so many times the Yankees have come back to win, and whatever that does to the Twins, I can guarantee you there isn't a player in uniform for the Yankees who doesn't think they're not going to come back and win this game. Rounder, base hit left field. Henley will go to second. And that'll bring up the number 9 batter, Ike Davis.
Yeah, 4th hit of the inning off of Nolasco.
And this just a ground ball hitting a good spot. A-Rod himself has come up with so many big hits late in games for the Twins, and Paul Molitor to the mound here.
They came into the inning only allowing 4 hits in the first 6 innings, but this inning getting away from Nolasco.
Haven't seen a signal yet. Molitor coming to the mound, wants to talk to Nolasco. Davis is the number 9 batter.
He has struck Davis out twice. Quick trip to the mound by Paul Molitor. He's going to let Ricky Nolasco face Davis.
Nolasco's actually been tougher against lefties than righties this year in terms of hits allowed. So we'll see what happens here with Ike Davis at the plate. The Yankees have runners at first and second with 2 down. Dribbled back to the mound, and Nolasco survives the 7th. The Yankees get 2 back, but the Twins still lead 4-2. North Dakota tourism. You can start your journey at NorthDakotaLegendary.com. So many great Twins fans from North Dakota. And Ricky Nolasco giving the Twins 7 really good innings here tonight, and they're in position to beat the Yankees if they can get 6 more outs in an orderly fashion.
Yeah, the 7th inning got away from them, you know, that infield base hit, and really one mistake, and that was to Rodriguez, excuse me, that he hit the 2-run home run. Other than that, a good outing for Nolasco, well needed.
Here's Escobar. An RBI single in the 2nd, went down swinging in the 4th. Up and away, ball 1. Drops a breaking ball on the outside corner.
Yeah, Swarzak's always had a very good breaking ball. Control of his fastball sometimes is an issue.
Popped up, it'll reach the seats. See if the Twins can answer the 2 runs that the Yankees got in the top of this inning. Twins have now been out hit 8-6. 2-2. And Escobar chases, strikes out for the 2nd time in the ball.
Breaking ball right there, maybe a high slider. Swarzak picking up a strikeout, his first. And Escobar striking out for the 2nd time.
Centeno has struck out twice. Bottom 3 hitters are 1 for 7 with 6 strikeouts. Ball 1. And Centeno puts his hand up on the barrel of the bat and takes ball 2. Two and 1. And you look back at the top of this inning, and remember Headley was at first, Gregorius was at the plate, and Centeno made a really tough block of a pitch that kept Headley at first base, and then the next guy got a base hit. So Centeno, in a way, might have helped to save a run in the top of this inning. And he takes a strike, 2-2. Nolasco being done, he's certainly done his part, getting 21 outs. Twins have the lead. We'll see whether the Twins bullpen can efficiently shut down the game. Bounced right to the 3rd baseman, Headley. And out number 2.
This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC. And Nolasco threw 93 pitches, 67 for strikes, so very good strike to ball ratio. There's base 21 batters, got 16 first pitch strikes.
Here's Buxton. Strike 1. Swarzak clocked at 95 miles per hour. And now 2 strikes. Buxton went down swinging in the third, again in the fifth, and now here in the seventh, behind in the count 0-2. First two strikeouts came on breaking balls down and away. And Swarzak has a 1-2-3 seventh.
Mall of America Studio Sports Update. Tomorrow afternoon, the Yankees close out their annual trip to Minnesota. The series finale with the Twins at Target Field. We'll get you ready for the game here on Fox Sports North with Twins Live starting at 12:30, immediately followed by the fourth and final game of this series.
And the Twins hoping yet to get a split of the series, but they got a win here this afternoon first. Ricky Nolasco did his part with 7 good innings. And now Buddy Bo Shears will come in to pitch to the Yankees, hopefully for all 3 outs of the 8th.
Well, Buddy came up back on May 25th, and he has been outstanding out of the bullpen. You see, he has not given up an earned run yet. 7 2/3 innings, only 4 hits allowed, 9 strikeouts. Well, this is his 3rd straight day being out on that mound. He was here Thursday, last night, and here this afternoon. So far, 2 shutout innings. Threw only 8 pitches in last night in a 1-2-3 inning.
Face at least 2 left-handed batters. First Ellsbury, who takes ball 1, then Gardner, and then the switch hitter Beltran. We'll wait and see whether he gets the first 2 guys and whether he's entrusted with the third. 2-0. Shears here and there is, of course, pitched well for the Twins, but this is a high leverage situation. 2-run lead, 8th inning, New York Yankees, all of that.
Well, 3rd night in a row, or 3rd day in a row that he has faced Ellsbury, and both times Ellsbury's hit a ground ball to Joe Mauer.
Trying to preserve a lead here this afternoon. 2-1. To center. Buxton over and back. 1 down. Bo Shears now against left-handers, 1 hit in 14 at bats, no walks, 5 strikeouts. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. You can watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. It includes a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. 1 down in the 8th, and now Gardner. Strike 1. So with Abad doing well against lefties, and even with the Gregorius home run the other night, lefties are hitting just 125 against him. And now Bo Shears has got an opponent batting average against lefties about half of that. Strike two. A little bit different though, doing it when you're behind 10-2 and doing it when you're ahead 4-2 in the 8th.
Well, I've mentioned before, you pull for guys like Bo Shears only because he, let go by the Angels, out of baseball, played independent ball.
0-2 to Gardner. On the ground, backhanded Escobar firing, safe at first, and Paul Molitor is going to put a foot out of the dugout. Very close play, and Escobar did what he could with it. But Gardner gets down the line so well, he may have beaten it out.
Yes, he did right there. Watch Gardner's left foot. Boy, bang, bang play, but looked like Gardner got on that bag before Joe could get that ball completely in his glove.
I don't think this will even be challenged. The dent on the bag occurring right before the ball hit the back of Mauer's glove.
Yeah. Ball's coming out.
Well, I think he's going to come out and make a pitching change here. And he's going to bring in Jepson to face the switch hitter Beltran. And then, of course, Alex Rodriguez hitting behind Beltran. A weak ground ball, and Bo Shears was able to get Ellsbury, but not Gardner. And the lead on the line with Beltran, the top Yankee power threat, coming to the plate to face Jepson. Of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. The numbers keep swelling toward perhaps Hall of Fame consideration. Beltran's been a really good player for a really long time. And Beltran will come up with the lead on the line, and Kevin Jepson on the mound for the Twins.
Yeah, Jepson worked in last night's ball game, one shutout inning, and since he was kind of taken out of that closer's role, he's done a very good job over the last 4 or 5 outings. Got a double play ball in last night's game when he worked the 7th inning.
Beltran, of course, will hit left-handed. He's got 2 hits on the day, both of them singles.
Beltran with 17 home runs, 10 as a left-handed hitter. See how Jepson starts him right here with a fastball.
Anthony's for strike 1. One strike to Beltran. Now a ball. Backing up Jepson. The Twins hope for the 9th inning is Fernando Abad.
2 big outs for Jepson to get here in the 8th. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Good breaking ball there by Kevin Jepson. Well, that's tight slider, the pitch that he's had trouble with, but that's a beauty right there. Good spot.
And a long way foul. Where he delivered the pitch, there wasn't much that Beltran could do other than hit it foul.
Beltran hit into a double play in the 1st inning.
Driven to left. Santana back at the wall, gone. Game tied. An opposite field home run for Carlos Beltran, and it's 4 apiece.
Yeah, it looked like the changeup that stayed up, and Beltran, his 18th home run of the year, ties it at 4 apiece. So Jepson on a pitch by pitch to Beltran, got ahead with a fastball. Good breaking ball, changeup right there down, then the good breaking ball. Then the slider in that Beltran hit the other way, and then the high changeup. You can see above the belt, Beltran, power to all fields. It's his 18th home run. We got a 4-4 ball game.
And now Rodriguez with 1 out and the base is empty. We have had 3 2-run home runs in this game. All 3 have gone to the opposite field. Rodriguez hit one in the 7th to cut the 4-0 lead in half. And now Beltran goes oppo to tie the game. Earlier, Park's 2-run home run went to right field. Chopped foul, and it's 0-2. And it's a shame for Ricky Nolasco, who had a great 7 innings here and was in position to win a ball game. But an infield hit for Gardner.
And for Jepson, that's the 6th home run that he has allowed out of that bullpen.
2 strikes to Rodriguez. Taken low. Remember, in the 7th inning, Beltran got an infield hit before Rodriguez hit a home run. Very high 2-2. I'm sure Jepson will tell the media after the game that was just a terrible pitch.
Well, you know what? I mean, he mans up, but still, these Yankees, they have made Target Field almost feel like their own ballpark. 18-5 here at Target Field since 2009. Jepson picks up a strikeout, 2nd out of the inning.
And that'll bring up McCann.
Fastball away.
McCann was 0 for 3 against Nolasco. And Molitor to the mound. He's going to make a change here. And Jepson moves up the game-tying home run. He then strikes out Rodriguez. 3rd pitcher of the inning coming up, Fernando Abad.
Gave up the game-tying home run to Beltran. And now Fernando Abad will try to get the Twins off the field in a tie game.
Well, it was Abad here on Thursday night that gave up the 3-run home run to Gregorius in the 4-1 ball game. And for Abad, that was the first home run he allowed, and that was the first pitch that he threw in that outing. Making his 29th relief appearance, 23 1/3 innings, only 18 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 6 walks, 23 strikeouts.
So with 2 down and the bases empty, McCann will hit against Abad. McCann was 0 for 3 against Nolasco. And Abad, as we said, gave up the big home run to Gregorius. Tried to get ahead with a fastball. Gregorius pounced on it. An off-speed pitch missing the inside corner.
Yeah, that was a good battle between CC Sabathia and Kyle Gibson. Kyle Gibson ended up getting the loss because the 2 runners on base were charged to him.
Strike call. With the home run, lefty still hitting just 125 against Abad. Now inside 2-1. Lifted to left, and Santana circling back under it, ends the inning. The Yankees tie it up. An infield hit followed by another opposite field home run, and it's 4 apiece.
Up at 4 here in the 8th inning, but stick with us for Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. Following the game, we'll break down Carlos Beltran's big day. Things were cruising along for the Twins until he came up, get this thing knotted up at 4. We'll also take a look at Ricky Nolasco's night. Another strong performance from him. That's 2 in a row. We'll take a look at what's clicking so well for the right-hander, and as always, we'll bring you the comments from Paul Molitor. That's all coming your way following the game on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink.
Yeah, to me, thank you very much. That to me is a quality start by Nolasco when you can go 7 innings and give up 2 earned runs or less. So, yeah, bullpen popped it up there in the 8th inning, and now we're going to see some of the harder throwers out of that bullpen. Yeah. Andrew Miller, who pitched here the other night, making his 29th relief appearance.
Be at the top of the Twins order, starting with Nunez, facing now the trident of great Yankee relievers, starting with Miller. Inside, ball 1.
Yeah, Miller worked here on Thursday night. He worked the 8th inning. He threw 16 pitches, 12 for strikes, a 1-2-3 inning with a couple strikeouts.
Inside, another check swing on the breaking ball. 2-0.
Yeah, 2 sliders.
Twins have some speed at the top of the lineup with both Nunez and Santana in the first 2 spots, and if one or both can get on base, they have a chance here to regain the lead here in the 8th inning. Chop foul, 2-1. Nunez 1 for 3. Single to right field, stole second in the 5th inning. Breaking ball over the outside corner. It's 2-2.
Well, Miller again, 28 2/3 innings. He has 53 strikeouts.
To the right side. Davis knocks it down. Nunez will beat out an infield hit. Davis committed to the ball. There was no chance of Miller beating Nunez to the bag.
Well, Nunez picking up his 2nd hit. It's that little cutter that he just hits the other way. Davis diving to his right, has a little trouble right there getting a grip on that baseball, but Nunez and his speed would have beat it out anyway. So the Yankees score 4 runs in front of a couple guys that had infield hits. Let's see if the Twins can do something here.
Santana's 0 for 3, squaring to bunt, dropping down a beauty, and Santana will be thrown out. He never left home plate. It's a sacrifice getting Nunez to second, and Santana apparently lost his balance trying to get out of the box.
Well, you see, watch him bunt right here, and then right there he slipped, and you know, someone that has already had a couple hamstring injuries to put him on a disabled list. Be careful. But a sacrifice bunt gets Nunez to second base.
And now Mauer will hit. And a hit to the outfield with Nunez's speed at second should put the Twins back in front. Mauer 0 for 3, a liner to left and 2 strikeouts. Over the inside corner, strike 1. One strike to Mauer. On the outside corner, and it's 0-2. Miller's had Mauer's number, 2 for 9 with 4 strikeouts. Two strikes to Mauer. Just off the plate. Mauer was able to take it 1-2.
Well, Miller going away with that big breaking ball, the hard slider, and a bit outside.
Off the plate, 2-2. Tapped foul. Sweeping breaking ball, and Joe was able to get a piece. Another 2-2. Struck him out. Mauer has struck out 3 times in a row.
Well, that hard breaking ball gets Joe, and Miller picking up his first strikeout. Larry Rothschild out to talk to his left-hander, the pitching coach for Joe Girardi. Big sweeping breaking ball that just doesn't stop sweeping.
The Twins have Kepler, a rookie, hitting behind Dozier. There is a base open, so I'm sure that's among the list of topics with this discussion on the mound. Dozier with a couple of hits. Kepler also has reached twice, but if this count starts to get a little lopsided, you can imagine Dozier will be sent to first base, and they'll take their chances with the rookie.
And we'll see what they do here. Do they want to walk him? They're going to pitch to him. McCann getting down behind the plate.
Dozier's been really good against left-handed pitching, hitting at a .310 clip. More than 100 points better than his average against right-handers coming into the game. 1-0. Pounded foul, 1-1. Dozier with a triple to the right field corner, then he pulled a single to left. A speed pitch gets a swing and a miss.
Yeah, that hard slider down and in.
They are coming after Dozier.
See if they go back inside again. Watch McCann behind the plate. Going sitting back inside.
Got him with a breaking ball. And the Twins get Nunez aboard, get him as far as second base, but we head to the ninth, tied at 4. By CenturyLink, a matinee again tomorrow on Father's Day. Nathan Eovaldi will go against Irvin Santana. The Twins are hopeful of winning here this afternoon, getting the split tomorrow. Got an off day Monday, where here at Target Field be a big thrill for some high school players. Right. Going to be having the state high school baseball championships here.
I believe it's what do they call it? District 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 4 different games.
Headley, the batter, facing Abad, who got the last out of the 8th inning. Then Gregorius and Refsnyder. Over for a strike. When you are so good against hitters from one side of the plate, very often the numbers on the other side aren't all that great. That's kind of the case with Abad. Left-handers hitting, or excuse me, right-handers hitting .286 against him.
And Headley this year, a switch hitter, actually hitting a lot worse bad as a right-handed hitter, hitting only .224.
2-1 from Abad to Headley. And that's not close. 3-1. And Gregorius and Refsnyder will follow.
No free passes here. Have to have Headley swing the bat.
And he missed a leadoff walk in the 9th. And Gregorius will bat. Betances and Chapman, the other 2 prongs in the trident, warming up. Gregorius with 2 hits, and what he did the other night was just so sudden and so unexpected. He jumped on the first pitch and hit a 3-run home run against Abad, because Abad had been so effective against lefties and had never given up a home run this year. Bauer has to reach for the pickoff throw.
Well, we showed you that home run. It was right there, right down the middle.
Yeah. And give the hitter credit. You know, relievers like to do that, get ahead with a fastball, and Gregorius pounced on it.
Well, we've seen that this young man likes to swing the bat on the first pitch. Bunt right there. It's a good one.
And a bunt single. Perfectly placed.
Wow.
He got it by the pitcher, and that's all she wrote. 3rd single for Gregorius in the ballgame.
What a perfect bunt right there. Taking it with him, making sure it gets by the pitcher toward Brian Dozier. He has to come in. Has no play with Gregorius and his speed.
Refsnyder will be asked to bunt, one would think. Third base coach Joe Espada saying, you know that thing we do before batting practice, before you start swinging away? Do that.
Let's try that.
Let's try that.
Refsnyder does not have a sacrifice yet this year.
Chop, swing away, and he chopped it foul, squaring to bunt. And he chopped it foul.
Well, he showed bunt right off the get-go, and then pulled the bat back. Ball went foul.
1 strike.
Now he squares around.
And that gets away from Centeno, and the runners move up.
That ball looked like it was a catchable pitch, but it got away from Juan Centeno. Take a look right here. Now that ball kind of short hop, but Centeno didn't get the glove down the right way. And both runners advance to 2nd and 3rd. The ball hit the dirt.
Whoa! With a attempt now to intentionally walk Refsnyder, Abad almost threw it to the backstop. Haven't gotten a ruling yet as to whether that's a pass ball or a wild pitch.
Well, I'm going to say only because it hit the dirt first that it's a wild pitch, but it's a ball definitely Centeno, and they give Centeno a pass ball.
I think that's the right call.
Yeah.
An unusual call, but now they're loaded, nobody out, and Ike Davis will be pinch hit for.
Ryan Presley's warming up in the bullpen, so we'll see what the
Starling Castro.
Yeah, it will be Castro hitting for Davis. And finally, Castro will be announced here as the pinch hitter, and that might lead to a pitching change for the Twins. The announcement hasn't been made, but the official scorer has been signaled that there will be a pinch hitter, and so the Twins will bring Presley into the ball game. 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and now the Yankees try to take the lead for the first time. End of a tattered bullpen, and it hasn't worked out very well to this point. Buddy Boshears gave up an infield hit. Jepson gave up the game-tying home run. Then they went to Abad. But the sequence here is interesting. It might have been, if there was a lead in the 9th inning, that Ryan Presley might have been given the save opportunity. As it is, he's trying to keep the Twins' head above water here in the 9th inning.
Well, the only thing Ryan got to come in to hopefully get a strikeout of Castro right here. His 34th relief appearance.
Presley facing the veteran Castro, and then you roll the lineup over on the likes of Ellsbury and Gardner. So there are 3 outs to get, and somehow Presley's got to try to pull a rabbit out of his hat. Infield in, of course. And Centeno had a hard time catching that. I don't know if he was crossed up. That ball was caught in the webbing of the catcher's mitt.
Well, it was a breaking ball that just didn't spin.
1-0.
There's a better one.
One and one. Another breaking ball, and that is Presley's swing and miss pitch. So you would expect him to maybe throw a fastball off the plate, see if Castro would chase it, but then come back and try to get the strikeout with the curveball.
There you go, fastball up. See if he'll swing at that, or do you stay with the curveball? Got to trust your catcher here to block it.
Got him with a high breaking ball. And Castro chases it. 1 down, and now Ellsbury.
Well, straight over the top breaking ball that Castro swings through. So the first out here in the top of the 9th.
And now Ellsbury.
Ellsbury, a tough guy to strike out.
Corner infielders up, middle infielders about halfway in here. Breaking ball over for a strike. 2 breaking balls, one registering in the upper 80s, the other one in the low 80s. Paul Molitor said he wanted to keep Presley out of the ball game last night because he warmed him up 3 times the night before. 1 strike. Fastball up. There's stuff there to consider Presley closing material in the absence of anyone else. Twins don't have an established closer. The swing and miss breaking ball, and you saw a 96-mile-per-hour fastball. And now the breaking ball off the plate again.
Ellsbury struck out 32 times in 224 plate appearances. Excuse me, at bats.
Fastball foul, 97 miles per hour. Presley struck out Castro on a high breaking ball that really didn't do much, didn't move that much. See if he tries to go downstairs and get a swing and a miss here. Fastball up. And now the count's full with the bases full.
Yeah, that was a slider again. He has that slider and curveball. Now, will he throw it? 3-2.
Full count to Ellsbury. Base hit right field. Headley scores. Gregorius being waved around. And the Yankees take the lead with a 2-run single by Jacoby Ellsbury.
That's why that 2-2 pitch so important that he left up, and on a 3-2 pitch he came in with a fastball. Ellsbury picks up his second hit, drives in 2 runs. And the Yankees have come back and taken a 6-4 lead. Said Ellsbury a tough guy to strike out. Headley and Gregorius score.
2 men on, still only 1 out. And Gardner at the plate. Fastball on the outside corner. Twins scored the first 4 runs of the game. The Yankees got 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and 2 so far here in the 9th. Breaking ball fouled away.
Well, take a look right here. Centeno making sure he gets the bat out of the way, flips it back. Almost hit the home plate umpire.
Oh, and 2 to Gardner. And the runners will try to advance, and Centeno's throw not in time. A pitch in the dirt on 0-2, and Centeno couldn't control the carom.
I always say if you have a curveball like Presley, you have to know that your catcher's going to block that. Ball getting away from Centeno.
I suppose it's hard for you to throw the pitch with the proper conviction if you're worried about that, right?
Yeah, wild pitch will be charged to Ryan Presley.
1-2. And now 2-2.
fly ball left center field. Santana will chase it, and the wild pitch will cost the Twins another run. A 3-run inning with Refsnyder tagging and scoring. Remember a few innings ago we mentioned the Yankees have done this to the Twins so many times. They've done it to other people, but they've done it to the Twins so many times. The score was 4-0, 4-2, whatever it was when I mentioned it. And I don't think there was anybody on the Yankee team who didn't think they were going to come back and do what they've done.
Oh, they did it.
7-4 now, and here is Beltran. Tied the game with a 2-run homer his last time up. Abad charged with 3 runs in a third of an inning. And the only hit he allowed, the bunt single by Gregorius, who, as it turned out, broke the game open with a beautiful bunt. 2 strikes. Fouled away. Chapman warming up in the bullpen now that it's a save situation. A hit here in the ninth might change that. It's a 3-run lead now. And another breaking ball fouled back. 20th pitch of the inning for Presley. If you just joined us, Ricky Nolasco gave the Twins 7 really good innings, giving up a 2-run home run in the 7th, but he left with a 4-2 lead. The bullpen has imploded here in the last 2 innings. One and 2. Chapman the lefty, and Kirby Yates warming up in the event that Beltran drives in another run here. And a foul. Here in the ninth, the damage started with a leadoff walk to Chase Headley.
Yeah, then the perfect bunt by Gregorius.
Then the pass ball that, forced the Twins really to intentionally walk Refsnyder. And Presley cleans up the Beltran at bat, but the Yankees score 3 to take the 7-4 lead.
Twins, as you can tell, leading 4-0 through 6 innings, and then the Yankees in the late innings tacking on 7 runs, and that means a 3-run lead, a save situation. And Aroldis Chapman comes in to pitch to the Twins in the 9th. He'll face Kepler, Park, and Escobar.
Yeah, Chapman picked up his 12th save here on Thursday night. 1-2-3, bottom of the 9th inning. He had a strikeout through only 7 pitches, 6 for strikes.
And Robbie Grossman's going to hit for Kepler. And Aaron Hicks has taken over in right field for Beltran. Starlin Castro staying in the game at second base. Grossman not with Ref Snyder moving to first. Grossman not starting today, and now asked to get a pinch hit against a guy who throws 104. He's just getting loose. Ball 1.
Here on Thursday night, Robbie Grossman was the final batter that Chapman faced, and he struck him out. The only strikeout he had.
98 on the outside corner, 1-1. Missed up and in. I asked Grossman today about his thoughts about Target Field. He said he's always loved playing here, but now he gets a chance to play on a regular basis. And he said something which I thought was interesting. He said the ball seems to carry well here. Swing and a miss, 2-2. And maybe it's because he's new to the Twins, but I don't know that early on that anybody said that about this ballpark.
Yeah, I think when Target Field first opened 2010, everybody thought it was a pitcher's ballpark.
But I think it's played that way lately, don't you? I mean, the ball does seem to carry farther than it did for whatever reason. 2-2. Driven to the right field corner, foul. So I told Grossman the theory that Jason Giambi gave me years ago, and he laughed and thought I was kidding. And I think our theory that we've said a number of times that the concrete is dried out draws a lot of ridicule and derision, but for some reason it seems to play that way now. 2-2. Foul tip, and hanging on is McCann, 1 away.
Fastball clocked here at 101. Straight over the top heat.
And now Byung-Ho Park. Make a case, I suppose, for this being the best day for Park in the big leagues, at least recently, with 3 good at bats, driving in 3 runs. A deep fly ball in the second, a 2-run homer in the fourth, and a sacrifice fly in his third at bat. And 100 miles per hour. And Park took a whack at it. 1 strike. One and one. And a breaking ball gets a swing and a miss. 1 and 2.
Hard slider right there by Chapman.
One and 2. And on the
trademark, and a foul back to the screen. As hard as he throws, I don't imagine, though, that there are many souvenir bats to be purchased in the pro shops of the opposing teams. I mean, when he breaks a bat, it must just blow up the bat. Strike three, 102 on the outside corner, 2 down. And that'll bring up Escobar.
It's hard to argue with the umpire, too, when you can't see the ball. But it sounded like a strike. Straight over the top. Believe it, that was slow motion. That's real time.
When you see hitters, you know, against normal pitchers, the swing, the bat starts moving forward when the ball approaches like the dirt area. I mean, the swing is that late. But with Chapman, I mean, you almost got to start swinging when he releases the ball.
How quick that cut there.
1-0 to Escobar. So I'm imagining that, you know, these broken bats, you go to the souvenir store and there's like a big garbage bag full of pieces and a tube of super glue. Do-it-yourself project. A high fly down the left field line and deep. Gardner to the corner. And that ball is a home run for Escobar. Ruled a home run by Mark Carlson. Escobar will hit a home run against Chapman, and it's a 2-run game.
Well, that's what you want against a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Just make good contact. That's what Escobar did right there. So Escobar, who last night hit his first home run, looked like a breaking ball, hit it high.
Yeah, hit the beyond the flower arrangements there off the cement wall and back onto the field of play.
So home run number 2 for Escobar.
Number 1 coming last night. And here's Centeno trying to get aboard with Plouffe on deck.
Kurt Suzuki,
I beg your pardon. Trying to keep the game alive for Plouffe. Ball 1.
For Chapman, that was the first home run he has allowed as a New York Yankee.
Foul back, and I'm guessing, given what he threw, Escobar, he may have thrown his last slider of the afternoon. Suzuki probably just trying to focus on a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. 99, but off the plate, 2-1.
Chapman, 28 years old, born in Cuba, defected from Cuba in 2009, then signed by the Cincinnati Reds. There's a breaking ball.
And now 2-2 to Suzuki. Fouled away over the Twins dugout. Twins Twins using their entire bench here in this 9th inning. Grossman started out hitting for Kepler. Now Suzuki for Centeno, and if he reaches, Plouffe will hit for Buxton. Two, and Suzuki fouled it straight back. Fouled over the screen. Suzuki battling, hoping that Chapman will make a mistake and he can get something into the outfield grass here. Second pitch for Chapman. And there'll be another.
8 pitches so far in this at bat. Can you imagine if Chapman had a changeup about 60 miles an hour, what a hitter would do?
Be great for chiropractors around the American League.
Spin around about 3 times.
Quite a battle here. Suzuki against Chapman. A drive to left, and that one's gone. What an at bat for Kurt Suzuki. He battled and battled and battled and then clobbered one.
He caught up to that fastball. Back-to-back home runs. And Kurt Suzuki hitting his 3rd home run of the year. The harder you throw, the further they go sometimes.
And now Plouffe hitting for Buxton. Plouffe's first pinch hitting appearance of the year. On the outside corner at 99. One and one. On the outside corner at 99, and it's 1-2. Two and two. If Plouffe can keep the game alive, Nunez would have a chance here in the ninth.
Well, they're trying to keep everything away from Trevor Plouffe.
Chopped right to the second baseman. Castro makes the play, and the Twins score 2 on a pair of solo home runs, but come up 1 short to the Yankees. Anthony, the Twins had a 4-0 lead. They scored the first 4 runs in the last 2.
but the end result very similar.
Unfortunately, between those Twins runs were 7 in a row for the Yanks, and New York has won the first 3 games of this series. We'll show you how Carlos Beltran was the key for the Yankees again today. We'll hear from Paul Molitor, and we'll check out what's happening in Wisconsin Dells all next on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink.